let me tell you what Cone told me. I'm gonna tell you what Cone told me. He told me that when he started reading this chapter, he thought he was reading the Fullbring arc. I was like, I feel you. I understand what you're saying. Dude, when he started reading it, was going crazy. I had to calm him down. I had to sit him down and say, chill. Nah. In all seriousness, no, though, this particular chapter of Bleach, first off, I want to talk about, for the most part, the good stuff and the important stuff, everything that's relevant, it's towards the end. About 75% of this chapter, maybe 80%, it's really just reintroducing that Ichigo's back in the new world, back in his own world. And at first I was disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, no, we just traveled so far from the real world to Huecamundo, to Soul Society, to the Squad Zero. You know, we got to the palace, the Soul Palace, and then to be back here, I was a little disappointed. I was just like, what are we doing? But I was glad that Kubo didn't have us in suspense for long. I was glad that he immediately, towards the end of this chapter, brought back in, because you need, obviously, we can't just pop up with Ichigo in front of Isshin. You need that extra to show him moving there. I was glad we didn't get all the extra of showing him leaving back, because that would have been a pain in the ass. So it's good that Kubo skipped that. But you do need to see him, get reacquainted with everyone, get back into the swing of things, and then it moves forward from there. The stuff with the chick that employs him or whatever, his boss and whatnot, don't really care for it. There might be some importance to the badge being left behind. I will say that there's something probably to do with that badge. I don't know what exactly, what importance it'll have in this arc. We know more or less about it, that it was used, made by Ukitake and whatnot, but we don't know exactly what it could hold. It was interesting though that was like pointed out that he left the badge behind. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Now I want to mainly focus on the meat of it, with basically Isshin saying, "You're not Shinigami, but you're not a simple human either." And then we see Misaki Kurosaki running towards Isshin in a flashback. Big question. The big question I'm going to ask right now: was that a captain's robe that Isshin was wearing, as far as like from the divisions, or was that from the Zero division, that type of robe? We obviously can't tell because they kind of look, identical. But that will be a big factor as well as piecing this together. For me personally, I'll link my prediction video I did a while back. I think that that's a Zero division robe. I think that he was part of the Zero division, which would make perfect sense. Why we never heard the name Kurosaki? Nobody knows of the name Kurosaki. No one knows any of that. It's rare for people to know who Isshin actually was. So that's where I say that goes. Now, as far as her being a Quincy, what does that mean as far as what Ichigo actually ultimately is? Obviously, he's half Quincy and half Shinigami, but as a whole, is there a specific rarity that becomes from those two, colliding and creating a child? That's the big importance right there, because that could be a key to understanding Ichigo's power, and obviously understanding Aizen's obsession with Ichigo. So automatically, that really is a key factor. I love the ending of the chapter. Didn't really care for the beginning and, just moving forward, because it's like you got that boss chick that I don't care for. So, there's that. But the ending of the chapter definitely had a lot of importance and is a key to finding out what's going to happen next. But I'm glad Kubo didn't drag his feet. And, we only had to deal with that for a little bit, the reintroduction to going back to the normal world. So that there was that. But let me know what you think. The big question for this chapter is, in my opinion, was that a Zero division robe that Isshin was wearing when he was on the ground? And also, it seems as though that might have been maybe a final scene between them, as far as before they maybe leave wherever they're going. That could be like the person that knocked out Isshin, or something like that. I don't know exactly, but I'm interested to see where this goes, because depending on if that's a Zero division robe or not, we'll find out where that could lead. And ultimately, we just will find out what Ichigo actually is. Obviously, it's hinted that Isshin is going to be the one that helps him repair his sword. Oetsu is a dick for sending Ichigo all the way back. You're in a crisis, you're in a war right now, you send Ichigo back. That guy is an ass. But it's probably important, since it's ultimately to help Ichigo understand who he is and whatnot, since Ichigo has pretty much no basis of who he is in general. But yeah, this chapter, for the most part, not too much to digest up until the end. The end was very important and very central to the story, and I just can't wait to see where it goes. Big question: is that a Zero division robe, and what ultimately does it mean to be of the child of a Shinigami and a Quincy? What is Ichigo ultimately? Also, this really adds to the fact that all these times throughout the entire series, Ichigo with his powers, dealing with the power of the Hollow and everything. I would like to see where does the Hollow come into the equation of him being a Quincy and a Shinigami? Does that have any relevance to it? Is it completely gone? Because we haven't seen that in a real long time, and I would like to see that. Can't wait to see what's going to go down. Let me know what you think, your speculation as far as those questions that I presented. And yeah, me and Cole, I'm going to have to take him out for a couple drinks because dude was depressed. The ending got him hyped, but he was still depressed from that beginning. So I'm going to have to take him out for some drinks now. But that's all I have, you guys, today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for that crazy ending because finally we're going to get some answers that we've been dying to see. I know you been dying to see the answers and get them, and so have I. But I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.